And when you're far from home, and when you're down and out, and when your hope's run out, and when you need a friend, and when you're near the end, we got to love, we got to love one another. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Let it shine. Let it shine. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Let it shine. Let it shine. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the
Love is the answer. Welcome to Provocateur Astrology. This is Robin. How's your day going? Well, for the last month or so, I'll begin with the story. I got a call from a friend in Nashua, New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire. She owns a business there. This woman comes into her business all the time. Very nice woman, but she's losing her home. She rents an apartment, had a roommate who moved out, stiffed her with all the bills. She's about 68 years old on Social Security. So my friend called me and said, Robin, if anyone can help her, it's you. So I've been trying to help her for the last month deal with that, trying to find her some resources to deal with that. And today I thought of this song by England and John Ford Coley. It's one of my favorite. It doesn't come on the radio all that often, but the words are so deep. And it's very Piscean in nature. Very much, if you listen to the words, what we're going through, all of us right now, right? They talk about a homeless person in this song, and I thought of the person I know, and how much, no matter how many doors you knock on, to assist a neighbor. She was the first firefighter in the state of New Hampshire. She was harassed when she was hired in the 80s. She went through a rough time there, but she's a pretty strong person. Strong, but even strong people get knocked off balance, right? With life. Sometimes life just doesn't work, no matter how hard you try. So she got me, she calls me a pit bull. Now, I like that name because I am a pit bull. I don't give up. I'm strong. I've gone through tough times of my own. But if you know anything about pit bulls, they're some of the gentlest dogs there are. They get a bad rap. So I was frustrated because no matter what door I knocked on, I couldn't find help for her. In these liberal organizations that help illegal aliens find beautiful hotel rooms and places to stay, food, $10,000 debit cards. But they can't help a neighbor. Yeah. We can't help our neighbors. Not we. The liberals are usually involved in these non-profit organizations. Don't you know? All my career I've tried to stay out of non-profit they're just criminals, a lot of them. And now you try to get help for a neighbor, somebody who's struggling, and it's not possible. And I had a goal, and as a Capricorn, I'm very goal-oriented, to get her in somewhere and have some support by the end of the month. And what is it? It's just about the end of the month. So, of course, I was on the phone with another organization trying to find her help. So, it's really reflective of what we're going through. It's not just our country or our state or our cities. It's around the world. We're dealing with corruption. Every day on the news, there's something new and disturbing. So the astrology, I think, really reflects that, and I'll go over the chart soon. But I think a lot of people are going through struggles right now. Financial struggles, a lot of people. I don't care how wealthy you are. If you're wealthy, you probably own real estate, commercial real estate. And in a lot of places around the world, that's not working for you right now. New Hampshire, we may be slightly different, but I do think that a lot of things are on hold. That's what I'm seeing all over the place. Not yet. We're not making a move yet. We're not going to decide yet. And so everybody seems to be on hold and not moving ahead. That is in the astrology. I was thinking of even Trump may feel that way today. He won South Carolina, but I don't think he's still feeling too good today because he has a boatload of challenges still ahead. A boatload. I don't think Nikki Haley's feeling too good today. That's her home state, and she lost big time. She's not feeling too good today. Alex Jones isn't feeling too good today, as he said this afternoon when I listened to him. He's on a hit list, along with Roger Stone and some others, put out by the CIA. It's like you can't even trust your own government anymore. There's a lot of people who are in a deep way, a Piscean way, and it doesn't help when some of the other aspects in the chart aren't working either. Yeah. How was that full moon for you in Virgo? Did you clean the house? I always clean the house during full moon in Virgo. I do know that I listened to David Palmer's video on the full moon, and we got into a pissing contest. Not that I wanted to. I'm the one, and I don't think he sometimes remembers that, who has encouraged him to be a leader among millennials. We were talking about the vax a few years back, and I said, you need to be, he was down because he was upset that people were calling him names and everything else because he was anti-vax, a truther, and they didn't like the truth. That seems to be the nature of those who listen to astrology. I hate to say it. That's why you're not seeing me in the 100,000 subscriber range. And I don't really care. But he's taken a beating from people because of that. And, I told him to be strong. You are a leader. It is historical in nature that you show them what the right way to go is. And so far he has, but he does get on his south node in Sagittarius. And it just drives me mad when he goes down the path of judging other astrologers. It's like, David, stop watching other astrologers on YouTube. It's driving you insane. People are copying him. People copy me. I like to watch, I don't watch a lot of them. There's probably under 5 people I really watch in astrology. One of them I watch specifically to see if he is listening to my videos and then he repeats it the next day on his show. And he does. But do I get mad? No. You know, when you have great ideas and you have Mercury trine Uranus, Uranus being in the 12th house, you get ideas out of nowhere. And for me, all my life, I've had people copy my ideas. I was thinking as I was dealing with him that I remember a time when I worked with a CFO for a software company for a while as a controller, and I had an idea to help sell more software, and he thought it was a great idea. And we all went into a meeting, and he said it was his idea. Yeah, what a guy. And yeah, not surprising. It's happened to me multiple times. So you just blow it off and say, okay, what a good idea I had. But also David got on his soapbox about Capricorns, knocking Capricorns. You're cold. You're a Capricorn. You're cold. No, we're pit bulls. We don't take crap from anyone, but we can be the kindest animals in the pack. But don't piss us off. I said, David, you need to go back and read your textbooks about Capricorn. Capricorn is traditional. They're kind if they know you well. You have to get to know a Capricorn. You've got to scratch the surface. And if they like you, they can be very loyal friends. And Capricorns do what I do. I help animal rescue, animal medical organizations. That's actually who called me to help a friend of hers. She owns an animal, I call it a medical organization. They basically put down their credit card. It's a nonprofit. Put down their credit card for animals in emergency vet clinics where people can't afford a surgery or some kind of operation because they're broke. And it's either putting down their best friend, or nothing, right? So she'll put down her credit card. And I like that. That's not somebody who's that cold, right? When they care about animals. But you have to watch. I know South Node in Sagittarius is self-righteousness. Trump has South Node in Sagittarius. And that's why you always heard me say, it's not your place to be the president. That's why you're having a really hard time getting in. Because the universe is saying no. Although it seems like you're popular, right? Gemini is always popular. But to step into a position as president, even if he does, which he has, it was nonstop harassment. So, anyway, David will have to deal with life as he takes it. Judging other people, like when he calls other astrologers stupid, is never good. Okay. Yeah, maybe they are. And they'll copy some of his material, his forecasts, and maybe they will. But, some of the best have always been copied. And that's the way it goes. Stop judging it because you'll drive yourself crazy. You'll just drive yourself crazy. Just stay in the present moment and stop watching other astrologers in order to call them idiots. Every generation has a generation of idiots that think they know everything, and I know why he's frustrated. I've listened to them and I won't listen to them anymore because they just pull your hair out. They're basically liberals, and they are trying to twist the astrology. For example, say Biden is wonderful and marvelous. No, right now he's going through a horrible Uranus aspect right now, and that's not that great. So, yeah. don't get caught up in that. So we've got the moon today in, I should put the chart up. Anyway, today's chart is, I'd go listen to Love is the Answer. Just go listen to it by yourself. It really is a great song. And it also reminds me, I want to tell you, which is really Piscean in nature, I'm hooked on a new YouTube channel called French Vibes. It's sort of a vlog, I guess you'd call it. And the woman lives in southern France in a medieval village. And she does such great photography work. And really, when you watch her videos, it's like so relaxing. Same with Kylie Flavel. She's in Tuscany. She's Australian, but she's married, has a husband from Tuscany, and they live on a beautiful piece of property. And she's such a great videographer. Every time I watch it, it's just, So if you really want to relax, go listen to Love is the Answer and French Vibes and Kylie Flavel, who is in Tuscany, and you'll relax. So the moon is in Libra, so it's no wonder I'm talking about southern France and how beautiful it is, and videography. But the moon is just, it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. It opposes planets, it trines planets, it, quincunxes everything. It just hits everything. Boom, 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 boom. And it can be quite emotional, hour by hour, depending on how it hits your chart. So, trining Pluto, trining Venus, I love you, trining Mars, I love you, but you piss me off. Libra's about love. Libra's about justice. I want justice. But it's not so mean in nature, like Scorpio can be. But we need both energies. And, it's opposing North Node and Chiron and Aries. So it's like, oh, poor baby me. Oh, when I saw that, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I couldn't believe it. An Air Force guy put himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy to give you attention to Pakistan. Like, honey, what do you care about Pakistan for? You live in the United States. You're in the United States military. Those guys have been fighting, and that's the problem. These young people do not get taught history. This has been going on for thousands of years. Just look the other way. Let them fight with each other, and don't get involved. Same with Ukrainian and Russians. Just don't get involved. And don't take to be that passionate means you think this is the first time this has ever happened. And it's not. I just feel so bad when I heard about that. That is horrific. And he said, see, this is what you did to the Palestinian people. There's so many young people who care so much because they've been indoctrinated by their professors about Palestine. Just go. Just ignore it. I don't have kids, so I can't influence anybody, but you might. And it's not worthy of killing yourself for. Just not worthy. We've got Jupiter at 10 degrees, Uranus at 19 degrees of Taurus, squatting there in Taurus. And don't you know we've got, in Belgium, we've got the EU buildings, I think, being tortured. We've got farmers all over the place still. This is the farmers. It's Taurus. It's food. Taurus is food. Taurus loves food. Loves good food. Yeah, you always want to go out to, I can't say that's true. I was gonna say always go out to dinner with a Taurus, but I did date someone, and the first date he took me on, and he was a Taurus, a very nice guy, to the bowling alley in Nashua for dinner. It was so horrible. You don't take a Capricorn woman to the bowling alley for dinner. I thought I could be good because he was a Taurus. It's like, let's get some good food. No. So I can't say that I didn't, I was younger. I don't know if I knew his chart, but I knew he was a Taurus. Oh, God. That's too bad. But Venus is at 12 degrees Aquarius. So it's coming off or separating for that square to Taurus. And, that was abundance gone wild. And then Mars exactly today is squaring that Jupiter. And so it's like too much of a good thing, right? Too much. I mean, if you have that in your chart, you promise more than you can deliver. It's easier to describe it by somebody's natal chart. So don't promise somebody the world because it's an Aquarius and not deliver today. Like, is somebody promising the farmer something that they don't deliver for humanitarian purposes, right? That'll squat there for a day or so. And then both of them will come up to deal with Uranus. Yeah, Mars squaring Uranus, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It could be physical in nature. Expect the unexpected aspect. You get madder than hell, but it's not Pluto, it's Uranus, so you do something rebellious. Pluto can be rebellious too, but if Mars was squaring Pluto, it'd be more physical, deathly, like punching. Really nasty. But Mars squaring Uranus is more having a fight with your girlfriend and going off on her. Like, oh, speaking of, oh my God, Saturday night. Have I got a story for you? So I was awakened at 1 a.m. in the morning by my neighbor. Yeah. Sex is not, a group sport. And it was really loud, like really loud. Mars square Uranus loud. And it was pissing me off. So I put the sound of rain on, which I love to try to sleep to. That wasn't working. And then I'm like, F you. I'm not going down for this. You know that the walls are paper thin. You're like inches away from me. And so at full-blown volume, he had to listen to Maduro's speech at CPAC that Alex Jones was reviewing. The whole freaking speech. And I was laughing. I'm like, you want to do this to me? He pounded on the walls. I'm like, too bad. Sorry to interrupt your romantic evening. But you really should pay attention to what's going on. Maduro is warning us. I did that for about half hour. But anyway, just reminded me of Mars square Uranus. Too bad. And then we've got Jupiter, Uranus, sextiling. They're both exact at 17 Aries, the North Node, and Chiron, both. So that North Node and Chiron really reminded me of that guy putting himself on fire. It's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself, Aries, right? Sacrifice for the good of the whole, the collective North Node. And it's a good thing, so he thought, but it wasn't. So, he's dead. I think he was like 21 years old. How sad. How sad. We've got a whole lot of energy going on in Pisces. Mercury at 6 degrees Pisces. Sun at 7 degrees Pisces. So Sun conjunct Mercury in itself is chattering about people who hurt themselves, right? It's like Sun conjunct Mercury. Number one is the chatter monkey aspect, I call it. So I don't care what sign it's in. It's the chatter monkey, but what do you chat about? Spirituality, religion, Pisces kind of things. I'm chatting about new YouTube videos I like, chatting about music that I like. And that is Sun conjunct Mercury. But here it is, it's coming in for a landing. So it's applying, which makes it stronger. Sun is only 2 degrees now away from Saturn, which not only is just serious business, in Pisces, which makes people sad, right? There's a sadness element to this. We can expect, we've had sadness today with that story, but more sadness is in store. And it looks like a leader, right? Some leader we may see whether, I know that Jimmy Carter is sort of in hospice, so maybe that's it. Don't know. Could be Biden too, where he's being forced to step down from his party. There's a lot of options there, but it's pain, and we're talking about it. Mercury is there, right? We're talking about and reflecting. There's a reflection element to also Pisces. And that's why I'm saying it's so heavy of an energy. All these personal planets and Saturn there, it's very heavy. And even though it's not exact today, there is a heaviness. And love is the answer, right? It really is the answer. And that's why that's a really great song for these kind of aspects in play. And it does have an inspirational, love is the answer song has an inspirational element to it, that no matter how much the world is beating you up, love is the answer. In other words, we'll all live to see another day, right? The sun always comes up in the morning, it's a new day. But it seems while you're going through these phases, it's heavy. And, I have a lot of Capricorn viewers, Scorpio, maybe Sag person with some Aquarius energy. And so it's just like maybe whatever aspect of your life, I don't know what house it falls in. For me, it's the 6th house of work. Yeah, I could say it's heavy there for me. Could be healthcare too, although there's nothing different right now for that for me. But your daily routine, it's not what I want it to be. I have to say, it's the honest truth. But I know this too shall pass. When you live long enough, there are phases in life. And so you wait. Where's Pisces in your chart? If you don't have your chart, just email me. My email is always in the description section. I'll do a quick chart for you, and I'll do it exactly how it is here, so you can see the signs if you don't know the squigglies. And you'll see where Pisces falls in your chart, what house, and see if that's true for you, where there's some heaviness. But they're personal planets, and with Saturn there, it'll move. That's what I love about astrology. You always know that it won't last forever. It moves. And if you really know astrology, you get your own ephemeris and see when it moves out. And so it's just a fog that's in the air. Pisces is fog. And maybe you can't see your way forward so much in whatever area of life. Some people might have it in the family, home and family. Maybe they have Pisces on the 4th house. Yeah, I can go through this. If you have it on the 1st house, that's self. It's like, maybe you gain some weight and you're like, that's not who I am. That's not me. I have to go on a diet. Or, maybe you have a healthcare related issue, you broke your leg or whatever. Something about your self-identity is just not you. And Saturn is there, so there's a heaviness to that for yourself. 2nd house is personal finances, right? Your personal finances are foggy, and there's a lot of people out there. You can't see your way forward, whether you were laid off. A lot of people are being laid off. You can't see your way forward. What do I pay? How do I juggle the bills if you're laid off? How are you going to do this? There's a lot of young people, especially in the tech industry right now, that are going through that. It's not just the tech industry. When, like UPS is laying off, Home Depot is laying off. There's a lot of different businesses. There's a laundry list of businesses laying off right now. So a lot of people are dealing with this. And I'm here to tell you this too shall pass. Maybe, Saturn is there, but it'll move. I mean, it'll move. When Saturn is, transiting your second house, and everybody gets Saturn transiting their second house of finances pretty much at least a couple times in your life. And so you have to, clamp down on the finances, know what you owe. You need to live below your means. That's what Saturn's saying when it's sitting there. Live below your means, meaning you're not going out to dinner. You're not going out for drinks. Do free stuff, like walk on the beach if you live on the coast. Walk in the park if you don't. Walk in the forest. Walk around town. Whatever. There's a lot of free stuff you can do and have fun. Bring a picnic, right? And make dinner that will last the week. I do that. Yeah, single chick making dinner for herself. It's like stuffed peppers for 4 nights in a row. Meatloaf for 4 nights in a row. At least. After 4 nights, I just can't deal with it anymore. Then it's Friday. I usually make my dinners on Sunday. And by Friday, I want to go out or I want to get a pizza. But yeah, you have to deal with it. Third house, that's your neighbors. And maybe you're cut off a little bit from people talking to you. And brothers and sisters even. And things aren't so good with you. Or they're long distance. You're feeling the heaviness around that. And maybe your phone's not ringing. It happens. It'll pass. Fourth house, like I said, it could be a parent who's, you got to take care of. Heavy responsibility. As you get older, your parents aren't going to be around forever. And so you do your best to, if they're in the hospital, you go see them and try your very best. But it's heaviness, or maybe heaviness around your home. Maybe there's a fight going on, whatever. Fifth house, maybe romance isn't so hot, right? I have Saturn in the 5th house. Yeah, be me. Everyone gets to be me for at least twice in their life. Where, maybe you're having an argument or a breakup with someone and you're not having much fun. Saturn in the 5th house is not fun. Everyone else is having a great time. Saturn rules my 4th house. In my 5th house, it's looking at my 5th house. So I get to live in a place where everyone else is having a great time right under my window. But am I there? No. Sometimes I am, but I can watch. I can watch the parade, but I may not participate in it. But it's just for you as a transit. You may be having a difficulty with children. The 5th house is the house of children. If you have it natally, Saturn in the 5th, you don't have children. Or maybe you marry somebody who's divorced and has children and it drives you insane. It's a heaviness around that. So, just for now, by transit. 6th house, like I said, maybe it's quieter than usual for job opportunities. Maybe you're dealing with a healthcare issue. Maybe your daily routine is just off and quieter than you like it to be. And you can't really see your way through. So you just get up every morning and do what you want to do. It's your life. 7th house is about marriage or lawsuits too. So 7th house is, some people actually get married when Saturn transits their 7th house. They maybe waited a long time. If you have Saturn in the 7th house natally, you could wait a long time for your partner. And when Saturn transits the 7th house, you could be making a commitment or you get divorced. One or the other. It's like things aren't working. You can't see your way forward. Maybe your partner has a healthcare related issue that's really weighing on you and you're having to really participate in that. 8th house has to do with debt or the IRS. Let's hope it's not the IRS. But, debt for a lot of people is very heavy on them right now. They have too much debt. We hear this on the alternative finance stations all the time. People can't pay their loans. They can't, Anything that you have agreements with other people financially. Maybe it's you're having to pay alimony, or you're having a hard time paying that alimony, but it's debt. I don't. Sometimes it's inheritance, but I know very few people who have a problem with their inheritances, depending on what stratus of life they're in, I guess. But yeah, it's a heaviness around investments. Like your investments aren't doing as good, or you're afraid they may blow. If you're wealthy, like I said, everybody's having some frustration regarding finances. And if you're wealthy, you don't know where to park your cash right now. Warren Buffett doesn't know where to put his cash. I think he just had a stockholders meeting, and he had to tell them, I don't expect us to make any money. Lovely, Warren. And so people can't make any money with Berkshire Hathaway. If Warren Buffett can't make any money, what do you think? What sinking boat do you think you're in? Yeah, so it's people are frustrated. They're not making money, or they're using their assets to live on instead of the interest on those assets. Yeah, everybody has their challenges, whoever you are. Maybe there's a death in the family. Sometimes that happens with Saturn going through the 8th house. And then Saturn through the 9th house is, I'm sick and tired of those political idiots. Yeah, it's politics, it's higher education. And with politics, it's just, they're driving you insane. Or if you're a political leader, you're not getting what you want. Saturn is there. When Saturn is in a house, it says, no, you can't have that right now. Isn't that awful? Yeah, the ruler of Capricorn. And if it's higher education, maybe you can't get into college because your family doesn't have the money. Or your son wants to go to college and you don't have the money. Or you're scrimping every dime to keep a kid in college. Yeah, that happens. Or maybe you love traveling and there's no extra money to do that. So you're like homebound. So those are just a few things that could happen. If Saturn is in the 10th house, well, a couple things could be happening. It's usually the peak of your career. Great. And then there's the downfall. It's the peak of your career. You're in a position of responsibility. People rely on you. But that's a heavy burden sometimes too. Very heavy. You could be dealing with trying to put a budget together for an organization. Maybe you're a CFO, trying to put a budget together and you can't see your way forward because, well, you're about to report your earnings and things aren't looking hot. And it's like, we've got to lay some people off. Somebody with Saturn in the 10th could be laying people off, and that does not feel good. You have to tell other people no. Or it's just downright frustration with your career not going where you want it to go. Because we're in a recession. Did anybody tell you that? Oh yeah, we're in a recession. If a Capricorn declares recession, we're in a recession. Because Capricorn doesn't ever want to declare recession. So I'm giving you, if you haven't heard it yet, we're there. Yeah. So if you have Saturn in the 11th house in your chart, then that's friends. They sort of disappear, or you have fights with them, or you realize we don't have similar values. It's also the house of hopes and wishes, and those hopes and wishes aren't coming true. Saturn saying, not now, no, not now, no. I know, Robin, you really want that condo on the beach in Sarasota, but not right now. That's the way it goes. I live to see another day. How about Saturn in the 12th house? Well, isn't that interesting? Well, if I were looking at Saturn transiting the 12th house, this is true actually for all the houses, but just in general, I would say it's a time to be alone It is, I would look at what house Saturn rules, Capricorn, Aquarius, in your chart to see how that pulls in to this time period. I did great when Saturn was transiting my 12th house. I wrote a novel. Of course, it was the 2008 financial crisis and I was laid off. So that wasn't that wasn't helpful either, but I made use of it, you know? And I basically spent a lot of time alone writing. You have to be alone to write. A lot of writers have it in their 12th house natally. But it's just one thing. It's creation time. What are you going to create? The process of creation is a lonely business. Yeah, creating a business maybe, creating an invention of some sort, you know, it's creation. And you either can enjoy that time or hate it, but nothing in between. And like I said, it will happen twice in your life. Around the age of 30. Well, no, I can't say that. No, that's a Saturn return if you had Saturn in the 12th house. But it will happen twice in your life. And so you make do. So hopefully I've given you a little bit of information. So wherever that house Saturn is transiting, that's where this mucky muck of Pisces energy is hanging out. And, you know, it'd be good days and bad days. I mean, Pisces sextiles Jupiter and Uranus. So there could definitely be some good stuff going on. Because right after Sun conjunct Saturn really is right now in sextile to that Jupiter. And that's why we've been talking about that for weeks. It's just Jupiter's moving slow. Saturn always moves slow. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad, okay? It's not a crisis. It just is, right? So you've got to sort of make the best of it. Because not every day in your life, not every month in your life, not every season in your life is going to be the same. We don't live in the days where you woke up and had the same job for 30 years. It doesn't happen like that. We have to live through recessions. We have to live through maybe a depression coming up in a couple of years. Not now, maybe a war. But every day is different. So if you're frustrated and there's heaviness in your life right now, somewhere, well, love is the answer, right? Go listen to the song. Love is the answer. Love yourself enough to live a great day. Just say, God, thanks for this really great day. And you'll be amazed what happens. You try your very best. I think that's what I want on my tombstone. I was thinking about that. She tried her very best. And, you know, live life like it's golden, right?